Folks, remember the Joe McCarthy and his infamous communist watch list, where if he made an accusation that you were a communist, you went up on this list and all kinds of crap happened to you? Well, we got the same thing going now, and it's just starting, where they're putting up a watch list on college professors. And this prick out of San Antonio, Texas, why did it have to be Texas, has started this thing. He's got an online site where you can go and donate money to, and he's placed about 200 professors on this list. Now, funny thing about it is he claims that they have a third-party verification. That's a bunch of crap. What they have is they turn around and people will turn in a name, and then they get their buddy or friend to go in using obviously a different email address and confirm what the person who initially submitted the name says, and that's what they consider to be verification. Anyway, here's the O'Reilly segment, and even he questions some of the stuff that this guy does.
The next segment tonight is beyond debate that the nation's universities and colleges are dominated by left-wing faculty members. That is becoming an acute problem, as some students are acting out, sometimes in infantile ways. Now a group called Turning Point USA set up a website that accuses nearly 200 college professors of, quote, leftist propaganda in the classroom.
Now note, he said twice, accuses. They don't really have any solid proof, okay? So they get cute and accuse these people of activity that they don't like.
Quote. Joining us now from San Antonio, Texas, Charlie Kirk, founder of Turning Point USA. First of all, how do you determine what teachers to put on your list?
Sure, so this project was many years in the making. You know, as growing this organization now to over 1,100 college and high school campuses across the country, we started to encounter incredible biases, some of which you've covered, you know, whether it be at University of Missouri, all across the country. And you know, what really troubled me is as I talked to adults and donors and even regent members, it was kind of like an urban legend. People didn't really believe all that was happening in our university. It was just kind of like pockets of information. And so we decided to consolidate all this information, all the different biases and examples with third-party verification on a very simple, easy-to-use website, professorwatchlist.org.
Right, notice he said a third-party verification, which is just, I don't like a professor, so I say that they're a lefty, and I get one of my buddies to go in and say the same thing. As far as they're concerned, that's verification.
Look, every single incident, every single professor that we put on our website is backed up by a third-party news source. FoxNews.com is mentioned many times. And look,
Yeah, like I really believe FoxNews.com as being a credible source. And this guy acts like anything that's written or that he can pull up on the internet makes his assumption credible. I point you just at Red Storm and Breitbart as two sources that he more than likely should be able to pull up on the internet to give quote-unquote credibility to his claims of professors being far leftists.
Want here is to shine a light of what's been going on in our universities, and the response has been incredible by students, by donors and alumni, mostly thanking us for doing this type of work, because this really has not existed until right now.
But this is a serious thing. When you say it's backed up by a third-party reportage, some of the third-party reportage is garbage, and that's.
See, even Bill said some of his third-party verification is bullshit.
It's a problem that you really have to know whether the college professor is going into the classroom, because that's a crux of it. When these people go into the classroom and they force the students to think their way, you know, it's a good, healthy thing for college professors to have an opinion and articulate it in a strong way, and the kids challenge it. That's what college is supposed to be. Now, when you put them up there at the website, you know, you're putting them in a little bit of danger. because
Yeah, now notice what this guy's response is, because all it takes is some wacko in the vicinity of one of these people that he puts up on his site, and he also lists I believe he lists the class that they teach, but specifically the top college that they teach at. He's making these 200 people targets, and he don't give a shit.
people, do you ever think about that?
Well, yeah, I don't think so. Look, I mean, if the professors are so scared of what's going on in their lecture halls be made public, then that's their problem, not ours. And I think...
Obviously. Okay, but you posting all of their information, and some nut job who's not rational sees that list and decides he's going to do something about it and happens to do something, then you guys are going to throw up your hands and say, not my fault. That's bullshit. I remember a situation where they started publishing the names of abortion doctors and how many abortion doctors have gotten killed because of it. But the people that put up their names and locations throw up their hands, not their fault either. Bullshit.
Parents have a right to know what's going on in these universities. I mean, parents especially are forking over tens of thousands of dollars in tuition, and they should know what these professors have been teaching. And it's important to note, we were very deliberate in what we put on this website, and in the fact that we did not break any news stories. These are all existing on the internet. It's just an aggregator putting them all together. We're simply...
Yeah, like the internet, okay, is a 100% purveyor of the truth and nothing but the truth. So help you God.
Shining a light, putting it all in one easy place for parents, faculty, and donors to see and understand.
Two of them caught my attention. The first one is Marielle Miller-Young, teaches feminist studies at the University of California, Santa Barbara. And apparently this woman...
See, now, you just did the same thing. You shined a light on this woman, and you're going to lead off with some misinformation, and then you're going to quietly correct it after you give the misinformation. This lady got into an altercation with a pro-life person, and we obviously don't know who started it, okay? And apparently several people were arrested and charged. She pled no contest, got a slap on the wrist, and kept on walking. But you're going to make it seem like it was this big brouhaha. You need to give all of the facts, Bill, not just throw somebody's name out there, throw out a charge, and then lie and say that the lady was convicted of a crime. She pled no contest. That's not the same thing as an admission of guilt.
And pled guilty to assaulting a 16-year-old pro-life person.
That's correct. Yes.
Does she have tenure? I mean, did she pay any price at the university?
From what I understand, she's still teaching there. And another example, which you've covered extensively, is Dr. Click, who was formerly at University of Missouri and now teaches at lectures at Gonzaga University. And she famously said on camera, "Bring in the muscle," when a journalist student was simply just filming demonstrations on campus.
Yeah, Missouri dumped her and she went up to Gonzaga. The other woman I mentioned pled no contest, not guilty, but she's still...
Yeah, he just mentioned that the California teacher actually pled no contest. Thank you for cleaning that up, Bill. You should have known that before you opened your mouth and said she pled guilty in the first place.
There, and the other guy is Julio Cesar Pino, who the FBI, I guess, is investigating for some kind of Muslim terrorism beef or something.
That's right. And according to several news sources, he is reportedly being investigated for allegedly having connections with ISIS. And an FBI spokeswoman confirmed this 6 to 8 months ago.
Say?
Well, look, again, the official statement was somewhat murky in the sense that he's still teaching there, and then it's trying to be confirmed to the FBI. But look.
Okay, so you mean to tell me that the FBI, with all of their resources, if this guy was actually locked up or in any way connected with ISIS, they wouldn't have snatched this guy up? Give me a fucking break, okay? And Kent State issued a letter that was somewhat murky. Would have been nice if you had the letter or read their statement so that we could see for ourselves if the statement was murky or not. Apparently, somebody threw this guy's name up in there, and if the FBI hasn't snatched him up yet, they probably have done their investigation and basically cleared this guy. I don't know that to be a fact, but I don't think the FBI would have been dragging their feet if you got this guy's name up on your list.
If I was a donor to Kent State or alumni, or I was sending my kids there, that'd be a huge concern.
I don't know if I'd sign up for the class.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. Are you kidding me? And so all we're doing here is shining a light. We're not trying to prevent teachers from saying anything or professors from saying their opinions.
As long as the facts are straight.
Just shining a light.
As long as the facts are straight.
Yeah, and see, and that's the problem. They're going to claim their facts are straight with that bullshit third-party verification, which is all it is, bullshit. And this guy is starting a witch hunt on professors that don't share the same ideologies that his, let us call them right-leaning, if not all the way right opinions are. This is how that communist witch hunt started. Started off small and worked its way up. Trump is bringing a lot of these guys out of the woodwork. He's bringing a lot of them out, and things could really get bad.